First on Fox, after 7 seasons, Ron Zook is out as Illinois' football coach. We have fan reaction. Plus, state lawmakers will be back in Springfield this week trying to somehow balance the state budget. Then, today marks the first day of Advent for Christianity. Find out what changes one church implemented today.
And we're still seeing a lot of clouds across much of central and eastern Illinois as we take a look on our tower cameras. Still, again, looking at those overcast conditions on the satellite radar with just a few showers in our Indiana counties. But there's more rain on the way as we head into tomorrow, especially during the afternoon and east of I-55. More details coming up.
Live from Newschannel 20, Central Illinois' largest and most experienced news team. This is Newschannel at 9 on Fox, Illinois.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Liz Foster. After 7 seasons in Champaign, Ron Zook is out as Illinois' head football coach. It happens less than 24 hours after a season-ending loss to 2-9 Minnesota, which extended the Illini's losing streak to 6 games after a 6-0 start. There was the Rose Bowl in 2008 and the Texas Bowl win a year ago. But Zook couldn't escape his 34-51 overall record, just 18-38 in the Big Ten. And there's the monetary side of ticket sales. There was only one sellout this season in Champaign. About 20 or so of his now former players showed up in support at a team meeting this afternoon. Defensive coordinator Vic Koenig, once the Wyoming head coach, takes over for Zook on an interim basis starting immediately.
If it was Ron, Zook is a fine human being. It was easily apparent in the short time that I've been with him. And as I told him this morning, if it was about Ron the person, he certainly would be worthy of a lifetime contract.
Thomas says the search for a replacement begins immediately. Many expected this decision for a while. Thomas has been through this before, most recently at Cincinnati with Butch Jones replacing Brian Kelly. This hire will start defining Thomas's tenure in Champaign. Many Fighting Illini fans first learned of the university's decision to fire Zook after an announcement was made at the Illinois basketball game against Chicago State. News Channel at 9's James Fillmore went to Assembly Hall to find out what fans think.
Yeah, I saw it coming.
Many orange and blue fans agree with the decision to fire Ron Zook.
I'm actually happy for it because I don't know how you start off the season winning 5 games in a row and then lose 6 in a row. It just doesn't make sense.
One fan says he has mixed emotions about the news.
He's been here a number of years. He's developed the program, but it just seems like we haven't gotten to the point where we expected we would by now.
He says Saturday's game against Minnesota was particularly disappointing.
Maybe it's time to start over. I feel bad when somebody gets fired, but really they're here to win. They're paid a lot of money to win games, and we need somebody to go on the field that's a strong leader.
A student says after the Purdue game this season, the fact that Zook is being fired really isn't a surprise.
They lost a lot of games toward the end of the season, and his players' confidence in him seemed a little weak, so I think it's a good move.
Only one fan I spoke to says he thought firing Zook was a mistake. In Champaign, James Fillmore for News Channel at 9 on Fox, Illinois.
Some say Zook did not do a good job recruiting quality players. Another fan hopes the firing of Zook won't have a negative impact on how the Bowl Committee looks at the Fighting Illini. State lawmakers return to Springfield on Tuesday for a special one-day veto session. They'll have a lot to get to in a short time. At the top of the list, the state budget, specifically finding a way to keep 7 state facilities from shutting down and saving the 1,900 jobs that go with it. The Logan Correctional Center and Jacksonville Developmental Center are on the list. Lawmakers will mostly reallocate funds to keep those facilities open. A tax break package aimed at helping businesses is also on the table, and the controversial gaming expansion legislation could be voted on again. It's a busy time of year for the post office. While the holidays bring in big business, the reality is Springfield's Capitol Station could close. The post office is in the Stratton Building's basement. For those who work on the State House campus, it's a big convenience. A study by USPS claims that if shut down, the location could save about $48 million over 10 years. But one woman we talked to says while half a mile isn't far in distance to get to another post office, once the fall session starts, it would be challenging.
See people daily going down, you know, doing their business mailing as well as personal mailing, and, you know, not being able to get out of the office, especially during session. It's really nice having it.
Some leaders with the Postal Union question where those numbers in the study came from. If you would like to see the Capitol Post Office location stay open, public comment will be accepted until December 29th. Informational handouts and comment cards are available at the Capitol location. Today marks the first week of Advent for Christians, and for the Catholic Church, it also marks the beginning of the new translation of the Roman Missal. Several new words and phrases hit the tongues of Catholic churchgoers and priests. Bishop Thomas Paprocki from the Diocese of Springfield says the new translation of the Mass is designed to reflect the Latin text more closely. He doesn't think the new translation will be as dramatic for Catholics compared to the changes Vatican II brought in the 1960s. The new updated missal affects all English language masses. Part of West Jefferson and Springfield will be closed tomorrow for a water main installation. The installation is for a new business on the 1900 block. As a result, the eastbound lane from Harriet Lane to Bruns Lane will be closed. However, the lane will only be closed during business hours, and it should be completed by the end of the day. Still ahead here on News Channel at 9 on Fox, Illinois. The economy may still be struggling, but millions of shoppers hit stores on Black Friday. Find out how much they spent and if it's enough to set a new record. Plus, more people are shopping online this year. Find out what's in store for Cyber Monday, a sneak peek after the break. Stay with us. Even a struggling economy couldn't stop Black Friday shoppers from setting a new spending record. According to ShopperTrack, shoppers spent $11.4 billion this year. That's up nearly $1 billion from last year. Online sales were also strong heading into Cyber Monday. Compared to last year, they were up more than 39% on Thanksgiving and 24% on Black Friday. And speaking of Cyber Monday, analysts are projecting record sales tomorrow, topping $1 billion. News Channel at 9's Andrea Marvin takes a look at some stores already posting sneak peeks of their specials.
Standing in line and camping outside in the cold to get in the doors while the prices are good. Many great deals were snagged during Black Friday, from flat screen TVs to video games.
We only went out for a couple hours. So.
What were the crowds like?
They weren't crazy.
But retailers are hoping shoppers have enough energy for a second round, this time avoiding traffic and lines.
Basically, the internet version of Black Friday runs the same deals.
Stores are giving a sneak peek of Cyber Monday specials like Target and JCPenney, making it all too easy for consumers.
I can do it from the inside of my home and I don't have to leave my house.
As internet shopping becomes more popular, stores are catching on. A survey found that 8 out of 10 major retailers are participating in Cyber Monday. That's up over 70% from 4 years ago. Back in 2005, when Cyber Monday got its start, sales were at nearly $480 million. This Monday, sales are expected to top last year at $1 billion.
A lot of times can find better sales online, I've noticed, than in stores.
So while some are ready to click and buy,
I look for clothes and toys.
Others prefer the traditional holiday madness.
Running the risk of getting it and then not really liking it and having to send it back and then get the one that you want.
Andrea Marvin, News Channel at 9 on Fox, Illinois.
A survey by Price Grabber found about 40% of consumers who planned on shopping over the Thanksgiving holiday also plan to shop during Cyber Monday. That's up 2% from last year. With all the products being delivered, there's a new push in Congress to increase the weight limit that trucks can carry on highways. However, it's not coming without some controversy. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Sari has more from Atlanta.
Large trucks on America's interstates could become 20% heavier. Major shippers are supporting legislation in Congress which they say would increase efficiency in a competitive global economy.
By the Panama Canal being deepening, these larger cargo ships coming in are going to be carrying containers that weigh 97,000 pounds. And so if we continue to have our weight limit at 80,000 pounds, then we would have to take the containers, unload them, repack them, put them on trucks, use more trucks to do that.
In 2009, nearly 300,000 trucks were involved in crashes in the United States. Safety advocates argue heavier trucks may cause more serious accidents, but proponents of the legislation say increasing the weight limit would actually reduce the number of trucks on roads, making them safer. Either way, many state transportation officials worry about the impact of heavier loads on their roads and their budgets.
If we advocate for higher weights, it's going to be more wear and tear on our roads, which means more money. So we have to balance that with an economic picture of the future as well.
While Georgia Department of Transportation officials have yet to make a recommendation to state legislators, their counterparts in Mississippi are voicing opposition to increased truck weights. Meanwhile, Maine and Vermont have already been testing special 6-axle trucks weighing up to 100,000 pounds. But according to the Georgia Motor Trucking Association, large company fleets and independent operators differ on the short-term impact of the retrofits and upgrades involved with increased loads.
The manufacturer will be able to offset the cost of new equipment with the economies of scale that they gain, the productivity they get out of it. The for-hire trucker who doesn't do any manufacturing will be faced with the cost, but all the benefit will go to his customer.
The proposed legislation would allow individual states to opt out, leaving an open question as to whether the U.S. continues its patchwork of weight limits or whether the heavier trucks become the new normal. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Up next on News Channel at 9 on Fox, Illinois, a complete check of your Fox Storm Team forecast.
Well, another kind of dreary day across central Illinois. As we take a live look on our tower camera this evening, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies across the area. Also, some very chilly temperatures outside. We're talking wind chills. Yes, that word again. In the 20s right now. Plus, we're looking at the rain to return to the area and chances for flurries later on this week. Now here's a look at Doppler radar, and really nothing across the viewing area now except for around Terre Haute in our far western Illinois or Indiana counties, but that is moving out of the area for now. Anyway, we're expecting it to move backwards into eastern and central Illinois as we head into the next couple of days. Now, here's a look at the current temperatures. This is the actual air temperature in Champaign, 36 degrees. It's 36 as well for you in Springfield and Bloomington. In Decatur, it's 37. Jacksonville's coming in at 38. Danville and Paris both coming in at 36 degrees. Now, it's a little bit breezy, especially the farther east you go. Right now in Champaign, we're looking at 16-mile-per-hour winds, 13 miles per hour in Mattoon. 9, though, in Springfield, 13 in Decatur. We're looking at 12-mile-per-hour winds in Danville. So when we combine the already chilly temperatures with the winds, that's how we get the wind chill, or what it feels like if you're stepping outside this evening to maybe let the dog out. 26 degrees, the current wind chill in Champaign. Feels like 29 in Springfield, 28 in Bloomington. Feels like 30 in Jacksonville, 29 in Decatur, and 28 degrees currently in Danville. So definitely glad I brought my hat with me. I'm going to need that on the way home from work this evening, that's for sure. Now let's take a look at the satellite radar picture. Again, here's this large area of rain, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the way down into Alabama and Georgia. It's continuing to slide its way eastward, and we're still seeing some of the lingering cloud cover from that system. But there's actually a secondary low pressure that's off to our southeast that's going to move northward over the next couple of days. And as it does, it's going to bring chances for showers back into the area. So tomorrow morning, we're expecting dry conditions. But by tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting showers to move back in, especially in the southeastern portions of the viewing area, becoming more widespread Monday night and then into Tuesday as well. Windy on Tuesday, gusting to about 35 miles per hour. Tonight, though, looking at mostly cloudy skies in Springfield, overcast in Champaign with a couple of showers possible. 31 for the low in Champaign, 30 in Springfield. For tomorrow, looking at mostly cloudy skies for the capital city, but as you head further east, we are looking at that chance for showers, especially in the afternoon. 42 for the high in Champaign, 43 in Springfield. And as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, more showers expected for Tuesday, very windy as well with the high of 44. Morning low on Wednesday of just 24 degrees, and there is a chance for a few flurries Thursday night into Friday morning. Stay with us. Sports is up next.
current Russian Prime Minister and former President Vladimir Putin plans to run for president yet again. Putin and current President Dmitry Medvedev plan to switch jobs as Medvedev endorses Putin for president and Putin plans to make Medvedev prime minister. Putin promises to strengthen the economy and bolster the military. The deal has angered many Russians who see the move as a threat to democracy and a return to authoritarian government. Putin's party, United Russia, is plummeting in the polls as many voters consider the party to represent corruption and bureaucracy. NATO and the U.S. are expressing their regrets, but for right now, Pakistan appears to be in no mood to accept condolences for what happened near the Afghan border Saturday. Funerals for 24 soldiers killed earlier this weekend were held today. Pakistani officials blame an airstrike by NATO helicopters as the cause of the soldiers' deaths. As a result of the NATO attacks, Pakistani soldiers leave hundreds of supply trucks stranded in Pakistan. Video shows trucks carrying fuel and other supplies to U.S.-led troops in Afghanistan parked on the roadside. The country has closed all NATO supply lines within its borders to Afghanistan. It has also ordered the U.S. to leave an airbase by mid-December. A defense analyst says the country doesn't need the U.S. and can fight the war on terror alone. The Arab League overwhelmingly approves a series of sanctions against Syria. 19 of the 22 member countries approved the measures after 8 months of violent government-approved crackdowns in the country. The sanctions cut off transactions with the Syrian central bank and stop Arab government from funding projects. This is the League's first move against a fellow Arab nation. As Egypt looks ahead to elections tomorrow, some citizens are fearful of violence at polling stations. Monday's vote will be the first since former President Hosni Mubarak was ousted in February. The military took power when Mubarak stepped down, but it's come under intense criticism for its failure to restore security, stop the worsening economy, or introduce the far-reaching reforms called for by the youth groups. In Cairo's Tahrir Square, protesters gathered for a 9th straight day of anti-government protest. At least 41 protesters have been killed and more than 2,000 have been wounded. Up next, with the firing of Ron Zook, what's next for the Fighting Illini? Jeremy Rao has the details coming up in sports.
Greetings and salutations, Fox friends. When Illinois Athletic Director Mike Thomas was hired, he made it very clear that under his leadership, the Fighting Illini would become an elite football program. With the firing of Ron Zook, we turn our attention to what's next now for the Illini. We can't immediately speculate on who Illinois might go after, but the past tells us Mike Thomas knows what he's doing when it comes to hiring. At the University of Cincinnati, Thomas was responsible for the hiring of Brian Kelly, who led the Bearcats to a BCS Bowl before leaving for Notre Dame. And his most recent hire, Butch Jones, has the Bearcats at 8-3 in his second season. So what's it all mean? Thomas has a great eye for talent.
That the project is probably a strong word. There's some tweaking. You know, the level of tweaking, but I don't think this is a reclamation project. I don't think this is a reality show for Extreme Makeover, anything but. I think we've got a great foundation base, and certainly that's a credit to Coach Zook and his staff and the kids that are on the roster right now. But no, I think that we have some things that we need to do, but I don't think it's something that we're taking to ground zero and starting over by any means.
And let the search begin. On to Illini hoops. Bruce Weber knows a thing or two about job security. It's ball security he's trying to teach his young team. In the first 3 games, the Illini turned it over an average of 18 times an outing. The last 2, 9 and 7. That's a huge step in the right direction. Illinois trying to make it 6-0 as they host Chicago State this afternoon. Second half, young guns doing work. Mike Henry buries the triple, and then it's Henry with the miss on the break. Mike Shaw cleans it up. 86-43 orange and blue, and then check out the passing here. We go bang, bang, and bang. Wow, Mike Henry with the game-high 14 points. The Illini dropped 90 on Chicago State to win by 47. Up next, a trip to Maryland Tuesday.
Just a positive day for our guys, and you know, obviously the competition gets much tougher as we go to Maryland and Gonzaga as we continue into our schedule. Vegas made it a little tougher, and obviously Missouri's played pretty well, so we got a tough road to hoe the next couple weeks.
To the NFL, 13 of 20 passing for 153 yards, 1 TD, and 2 interceptions. Not too bad, especially in the NFC Championship. Now, you figure if Caleb Haney can put up anything close to that in the coming weeks with the Bears' defense, Chicago should remain in the playoff hunt. Haney filling in for Jay Cutler, who is out with that broken finger on his throwing hand. Today is the first test of the Haney project with the Bears visiting Oakland. Let's go straight to the fourth. Michael Bush scampers in from 3 yards, 25-13. Oakland in control. Haney with 3 picks on the day, but he steps up huge here and steps up in the pocket. Haney 9 yards to Kellen Davis, 25-20, Raiders by 5. Bears then driving with under 10 seconds to play. Haney looking to spike it, but he hesitates, and they call him for intentional grounding. That's a 10-second runoff by Roll, and that's your ball game. Oakland hangs on to win it 25-20. To the Rams finally. Sam Bradford said he was beyond frustrated after last week's loss. So you know Bradford wants to beat down Arizona. Third quarter, this might take Bradford to infinity and beyond frustrated. Patrick Peterson returns an 80-yard punt for 6, sets an NFL record as the only player to return 4 punts of 80 yards or more in one season, 20-13 Arizona. Rams not done. Bradford is going to hit former Illini receiver Brandon Lloyd in the corner. Beautiful pass, too, and we are knotted at 20 apiece. But the story of the day, former Buckeye Beanie Wells hits the Cardinals' single-game rushing record with 228 yards on the ground and 1 TD. Arizona deals St. Louis a 23-20 defeat. The Rams are 2-9. And that is going to do it for sports. We'll be right back after this break.
We're looking at a chilly night tonight, mostly cloudy skies, 30 degrees for the overnight low in Springfield, a few showers in Champaign with 31 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies in the capital city, 43 for the high, but a chance for showers in Champaign, a high around 42. And as we take a look at our 7-day forecast, a better chance for widespread rain on Tuesday with a high of 44, very windy conditions, mostly sunny skies on Wednesday with a high of 42.
Thanks, Kelly. Here's a quick look at stories making headlines tonight on Nightside. Annual mail volume has declined by more than 43 billion pieces in the past 5 years. There's already been talk of the sorting center in Springfield being shut down, and now another convenient spot for state workers might also be shutting down. Details on how it could affect you coming up. That's in a half hour on ABC News Channel Nightside. And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.
Central Illinois' largest news channel and most experienced news team. Thanks for watching your primetime news. News Channel at 9 on Fox, Illinois.